fascinating. And now, here he is, Tom Leykis. Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No, I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. I've seen this happen more than once recently. For some reason, I have hung out with a bunch of couples. Normally, I hang out with other unmarried people like myself. Notice I didn't say single. Singles are pathetic people with flop sweat, stink of death on them. I'm an unmarried person. Unmarried is different. Unmarried implies you don't care if you are married. Single implies you'll marry anybody. You'll date just so you can get a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Somehow recently I have just ended up at a bunch of dinners and events with married couples or couples who've been together a long time. Maybe they're not married. They live together. And it's very interesting to hear the difference in the way the following question is asked. Ever ask this question when you see a couple? This question comes up every time you see a couple. You've never met them before. And here's when it really comes up, okay? You meet a couple, and you don't know them. You have nothing in common with them. You've never seen them before. Maybe you hardly know their names. Maybe you don't even know their names. You're sitting at a dinner table, or you're standing at a bar, and you're looking at a couple. What do you say to them? I don't know you. I don't know what you do for a living. I don't know what interests we have in common. We've been thrown together by fate, and we're all standing here together. And there is one and only one question people will throw at a couple when you meet them this way. How did you two guys meet? That's like, you know what? That's the equivalent of Larry King when he has an author on of a book he never read. That's all right. My first question. Why'd you write the book? What you're really saying is, I don't know anything about you. I don't care about you. I don't give a rat's ass about you. I didn't care to figure out your name or what you do. Frankly, I've just been thrown in here with you, and I had to say something, so I said it. It's like the people who call up on the phone and talk to me on the air, and they say, how are you? Most of them don't care how I am. They just don't know what to say. How did you two guys meet? Now, I've been paying particular attention to this. And lately, what I've been doing, all in the name of science here, of course, so I can talk to you about the results of my lab experiments on the air. Rather than asking two people at the same time, I get them separately. Because when you ask them at the same time, the woman is leading the conversation. Because the woman always has some romantic story. Well, he was in my office. You know, we worked in the same office together, and I saw him 3 cubicles away, and I thought he had the cutest eyes, and he had a pretty nice butt, too, you know, but I thought he was such a nice guy. You know, smart and funny, and he looks like he has potential, and, well, I was in the office, and one day he asked me out on a date. And I'd been hoping he was going to ask me out, you know. I was like hoping it was going to happen, you know, and he did. And so I was prepared for this, you know. I had like a whole outfit picked out and everything. So I said, well, all right, pick me up tonight about 8:30. And I ran home from work and I got into the shower and I put on makeup and perfume and did my hair and looked perfect and put on this great outfit and these great shoes because I really wanted to impress him, you know. And when he came over, He was such a great guy. He was so great, and we've been seeing each other ever since. You get a story like that, right? So what happens is, if you ask the couple together, he will start telling her story. He will fill in the blanks or finish the sentences, and they will tell the same story in unison. We met in the office. Yeah, the office. We used to work 3 cubicles from each other. Yeah, and anyway, I saw him one day. Yeah, and I saw her, and our eyes kind of met, Yeah, and they start telling the same story. But if you get the men and the women separately, it's very different. She tells that story. Essentially, Prince Charming arrived at the office one day and swept her off her feet. But you ask him, he has a whole different explanation. So I'm looking at this chick, I'm looking at her ass. What an ass on this babe. I want to tell you something. I wanted to eat it whole. It was so juicy. Look at it. And she had these huge knockers. And all I wanted to do was pin this broad down and F the crap out of her. But obviously you gotta go through that crap, you gotta go out, have a drink, go to dinner and crap like that. But the whole time, all I'm thinking is, how am I gonna get those panties off? Now, do you understand, there are women out there, and this is what I'm gonna get into this hour. There are women out there who today, and boys, if your woman is like this, okay? She has this whole romantic notion of how you met. This whole romantic notion of how it all happened, how maybe it was fate that brought the two of you together, that you were such a smart and funny guy, and she has the story, and you know what, boys? You can tell that story the way she tells it. I know you can, because you've heard it 80 million times. And sometimes when you're in mixed company, there's 4 couples going out to dinner and you're all sitting down. How did you guys meet? How did you guys meet? How did you guys meet? There's all people say, how did you guys meet? Because they don't know what to say to each other. How did you guys meet? So you've done this. You've helped her tell that version of the story, the Prince Charming version of the story. But the reality is you wanted to nail this broad. So boys, here's what I want you to do. I want you to call me up. And I want you to tell me the story she tells people. How you first met. How you got together. How romantic it was. And then I want you to tell me the story you tell the boys. When you're all out drinking together and looking at other chicks, I want you to tell me the story you tell the boys when they ask you. Both stories, one after the other.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Hit it, hit it, hit it, and quit it.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, yeah, the Tom Leykis Show. I love being in this chair. I love it. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. All right, boys, you know her version of the story of how you met, why you're together, blah, blah, blah. And you let her believe all of that Prince Charming romantic stuff that she tells people, but you know differently. You just wanted to nail that broad. Tell me first the story she tells people about how you got together, and then tell me the real story. It's Angel on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Okay, Angel.
All right, check us out. I met my girlfriend when we were in high school, right? And, well, let's just say she hadn't blossomed yet, okay? After we graduate, I'm working at a nightclub, and I run into her. And let me tell you...
Wait. You're supposed to tell me her version of the story first.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
No, you're telling me your version of the story.
No. So we meet, and we...
No, you're telling me your version of the story.
No, it's her version. My version is a lot better. It's the truth.
So she tells people that she hadn't blossomed yet, and she met you in a nightclub. That's your version of the story. All right. I don't think he understands the premise. First, you tell me the story as she tells it to people, with all of the fate and the romance involved. You were so thoughtful. Then you tell me the real story about how you wanted to nail her and why. Jay on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tommy, what's up?
Not much, Jay.
Check it out. So, Jay, This is Jay, of course.
Anyway,
what I was going to say is I met my current friend, we'll say, with benefits 5 years ago, and we've been banging around ever since. And her romantic version of the story is that, basically, we met at a restaurant in West L.A., and, he was so sweet and such a nice guy. Well, here's my story. The story is, basically, I ended up getting ready to leave the club because my buddy was out there kicking it with some chick, and I was going to walk home to my apartment in West L.A., and I saw her coming in. I go, whoa, are those real? She goes, yeah. They end up diddling her up on the bar. So anyway, that's my story.
Yeah, boy. See, he gets it. He gets it. First, you tell me how she tells people that you are the most Mr. Wonderful, Mr. Right, so courteous, so thoughtful, so smart, so funny, so witty. She could stop thinking about how wonderful you are, and really, in reality, you just want to nail that, bro. It's Mark on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
Did you want to talk to Tom?
Yes.
All right. Hold on, please. The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Mark on the Tom Leykis Show.
How you doing?
Okay.
Are you listening?
Me?
Yes.
Who am I?
Tom.
Oh, okay. Check.
Well, her story is this. We met in the club. We had a free drink, so I brought her a free drink.
No, tell me her story.
I'm telling you her story.
She's telling you met her for a couple of drinks.
I met her at a club, and I took her home. Then a couple of days later, that's when we hooked up. That's not the truth. The truth is my story.
Wait a minute. That's the romantic story she tells people?
Yes, it is.
That's very romantic. So we met at a club and had a couple of drinks, and we hooked up a couple of days later.
Right. You don't want nobody to know the truth.
You are a regular Prince Charming. Okay, and what's your version of the story?
My version, which is the truth, is I seen her in the club, and she had a fat ass, and I danced with her for about an hour. I told her I'd be right back. Went to the bathroom, came back, another guy was dancing with her. So I stood there and waited for about 20 minutes until she finished dancing with this guy. Then I danced with her for another hour. So after that, we left, and I banged her. I only knew her for about an hour. But we've been together ever since.
There we go. All right, well, your stories don't sound all that different. Sounds like she wanted to bang you, too. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Rick on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Rick.
How you doing?
Do you care?
I'm doing pretty good.
I didn't ask you. I don't really care.
We were walking through the shops and...
This is her story.
Yeah, this is her story.
All right, what is her story?
Her story was on Sunset. You know the little shop?
Yes.
When you're, just walking through, we had met. That's what she had told her parents.
All right, so you met where, on the Sunset Strip?
Yeah, we were just
Sunset Plaza?
Yeah.
Okay.
Walking the strip, and
right.
That's supposedly, we met like that.
You met on the Sunset Strip.
No, that's your story.
That's the story. I'm asking you the story. The story is the two of you supposedly met, walking, looking at the little shops along Sunset Plaza on the Sunset Strip.
Exactly.
And you bumped into each other?
Yeah, we had seen each other, and we just started talking, and from there, we hit it off.
Right.
Supposedly.
And you went on 17 dates.
Yeah.
You were a real gentleman.
The whole that we had coffee and just,
Yes, we had coffee.
Like all romantic, made me seem real cool,
Coffee and labia and...
Yeah. And the way I met her, she's a friend of my cousin.
Uh-huh.
At a party. So we met up, had some drinks, and I was going to leave, and she wanted to, still party. So from there, went to the back, went to the car, took a stroll, and had sex in the backseat of my car, and I've been seeing her ever since.
That's very romantic.
Yeah, 4.5 years.
The parents wouldn't like that story.
Yeah.
Now, does she tell the Prince Charming version to everybody else, or just her parents?
Well, it's all her side of her friends.
So all her friends believe this story that you bumped into each other on the Sunset Strip.
But all my friends know when I met her, because my friends were there.
Ah.
Yeah.
So they know you just wanted to nail her and that you did.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing that takes men and women, sex.
Of course. Why the hell would we talk to a woman? They got nothing to say.
I don't know.
Some of them never shut up, but do they ever say anything you want to hear? No.
What can we do, huh?
Well, not much, babe. Until men have vaginas, we're pretty much stuck with them. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Steve on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, what's up?
Just the ratings, Steve.
You know it. Listen, it goes like this, right?
Yeah.
All right, her story is we're working at a pizza joint, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of true. We met there, but she wasn't all that, right? And she wasn't a 10, so we never hooked up. Well, about a year goes by, right?
Wait a minute. Is this her version of the story?
Right. Well, her.
This is her version. No, pal. Listen. Follow the bouncing ball. First, you tell me what she tells people.
All right.
Her story comes first.
Right. Her story is we met at the pizza joint. We're working together, and we hook up. You know, we start dating.
So she tells her parents two of you hooked up.
No. She tells us that she met me there, and I was.
Pal, you're not getting it. Listen. Calm down. Follow the bouncing ball. First tell the cleaned up, romantic version of the story that she tells her parents, her friends, people you work with. The cleaned up version, the romantic version. Don't tell me the hookup version until later.
All right. So
Jesus.
One day, I walk into a pizza place. She's there, right? I fill out the application, and she sees me, right? She sees I'm all dressed up, and, you know, she falls in love, right? Love at first sight kind of thing.
Oh, it's love at first sight.
Kind of, for her.
Yeah.
So, for the cleaned-up version. So a couple of days go by, and we start dating, and, you know, we hit it off. You know, now we're married with 2 kids, with a baby, 1 on the way, right?
That's how you tell the story.
That's how she tells the story.
That's how
she
tells the story.
All
right, now, what was your point of view? When you saw this chick...
I saw her. She wasn't all that, you know. Like, I saw her, okay, hey,
she
whatever.
Wasn't all that.
Yeah, she wasn't all that.
Uh-huh.
So a couple of years go by. I quit the joint, you know. I don't see her for a while. Well, I go into a strip club with me and a couple of my buddies, and who's working there? Who gets the boob job and is a 10 now, right?
Now she's a 10.
Now she's a 10. So I paid her $20 to get a lap dance. I didn't recognize her till we get the lap dance, you know.
Uh-huh.
Now this is how it really goes, you know. I get the lap dance. Boom, you know, a couple of days later I call her up, and now we hit it off. Now it's all good, you know, and she's the 10.
Oh.
That's how it really happened.
Do her parents know that she works in a strip club?
Well, they didn't at the time, but yeah, as the time goes by, it's already been about 4 years, you know, going on 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, yeah.
Now that she's giving lap dances to all her dad's friends, it's kind of obvious.
Oh, that's horrible, Tom. All right, hey, Tom, take me out with the Broncos.
Here it comes, Steve.
No call.
All right. So, boys, the first story you tell is the story she tells people. It's the cleaned-up version, the romantic version, the fairy tale version, the Prince Charming version. You're sweet and wonderful and romantic. Then tell us your version of how the two of you hooked up.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis. Only...
This is the Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, yeah, 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Sandy. Hello.
Hello.
Is that a question or a statement, Sandy?
A statement. I'm listening to your radio show, riding, down 301, going back to Virginia, because that's where I'm from. Mm-hmm. And I'm listening to these guys calling you up saying her version, his version. And reality is maybe most of the 99% of the women out there are basically just say the romantic story because half the guys, they need that ego boost.
No, it is. You know what? That's not why women do it. I'll tell you why women do it.
Why is that?
Because women don't want to seem like sluts.
You think?
That's the reason.
Or maybe
No, you know what? I don't think women give a rat's ass about building up men's egos. I hear women say this all the time. It's not true. Women don't want to appear to be the sluts they really are.
That's not really true. Because
of course it's true.
They fake their orgasm anyway, and they have to pretend like their man's the greatest lover in the world.
That doesn't.
Because they'll sit there and start crying. Oh.
No. When women lie about having an orgasm, it's because they want to get into a man's wallet. That's why women lie about orgasms, dear. Don't kid yourself.
What? Okay, how many couples do you know that the guy...
By the way, why would you be so stupid as to stay with a man who doesn't give you an orgasm?
Maybe because we can get it from someplace else.
Well, why bother staying with the guy in the first place? Why not just break up with the guy who can't give you an orgasm?
Well, I'm not saying that they can't give you one, but I'm not... But
if they don't, why stay with him? Why? That's your fault. Why would you stay with somebody like that?
I'm saying it's not...
Then lie about it and build up his ego and fake orgasms? And how pathetic are you if you do that?
That you're
pathetic.
And half the girls out there, every time that you lay with them, they have an orgasm.
Oh, no, but if they're not having orgasms, here's what they should do. Here's what they should do. They should never see me again. And the reason they see you again when they don't get an orgasm is because they want money or they want to be with you because you're successful. That is the reason why women lie. You've just proven my point, darling.
No, that's so untrue.
That is the reason.
That is so untrue.
What other reason could there possibly be?
Take care of themselves.
Why would you want to be with a man who can't give you an orgasm?
No, I'm not saying that they can't, but I'm saying that
if you're not getting orgasms out of the man you're with, why would you stay with him?
Okay. Are you saying you give your girl an orgasm every single time?
I don't know, but I'll tell you this. If I don't, she should leave immediately. Immediately. She shouldn't fake it. She shouldn't... Screw feelings. You know what? If a man can't give you an orgasm, you don't have a relationship worth talking about.
And you're calling these women sluts out there that's sitting there going out and getting screwed in the back of the car. And listen how these...
Yeah, but I like it. You know what? When I meet a woman, I want her to be a slut.
Okay, I'm not saying that, but these women are also taking care of their children.
Who brought children into this? Are you insane? Are you insane?
As far as what?
Who brought children into this?
Because usually the guy that called on the phone...
So you're telling me the reason women fake orgasms and build up the egos of the men who are incompetent in bed is because they're trying to support children. But it all boils down to the same thing. They're trying to get a man's money. That is the reason. They don't want to build up a man's ego. They don't give a rat's ass about a man's ego. A woman who fakes an orgasm doesn't have the balls to break up with that man. She doesn't have the guts. She's pathetic.
That's why half the men go to a bar, because I used to be a bartender, and I have to hear all these men sitting there saying how they do this and do that for their girls.
I don't care.
Well, they don't.
I don't care. You know, anyone who stays with a man who can't get the job done in bed is a fool and pathetic.
I don't know what...
Do you do that? Do you do that?
You lay down with
do you do that?
Get the job done.
I don't believe that happens. I don't believe... You know what? I don't happen to believe that everybody has chemistry with everybody else. I don't. There are people you could be with and you'll never have chemistry with them. I don't happen to believe that. But you know what? If you're stupid enough to stay with a man and try to build up his ego and lie to him and fake orgasms, you're pathetic. You're more pathetic than he is.
I'm saying every single time it just doesn't happen that way. You know it's true, and you're getting all upset because you...
No, you know what, dear? You know what? I don't know about you. I don't know what situations you're in, but I have been with women, and I have told them point blank, do not fake it.
Oh, and I guess they say, I won't, honey. I won't fake it.
Well, if they are faking it, it's because they want my money.
Oh, please.
That's why.
And what do you buy them?
I don't buy them anything. They're hoping to get it. I buy them nothing, just like I would buy you nothing.
Well, you know what? Because I want to, first of all, I want to lay with you. Second of all, I'm telling you...
But if I can't give you an orgasm, why have sex with me?
I'm not saying... You know what? I'm not saying every time. It just doesn't happen every time.
Right.
I know that you're upset about it, and I don't mean to upset you.
No, it's not that I'm upset about it, dear. It's that you are wrong. Women do not build up a man's ego...
They do.
For any reason except to get money from them. That is why.
I don't tell you the truth. It's because we have to listen to you guys cry and whine like you're doing now.
You don't. You could just simply leave, for Christ's sake.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. All right, boys, tell us your story. After you tell us her story.
How'd you guys get together? How'd you guys meet? She has a wonderful, romanticized version of the story that maybe she even believes. But you know the truth. Carl on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How's it going?
All right, Carl.
All right. I'm going to tell you her story, how she told her mom, all right?
Okay.
Oh, my God, Mom, I met this great guy, and he covered up the name on my wrist. He does tattoos, and he works, and he's got a new car and a big truck, and he has a 2-bedroom house with a roommate, and just sweet guy, and after he did the tattoo, he took me out to this bar and spent all the money on drinks, and he didn't even drink, and he was a total gentleman, and
yeah, they love saying that. He was a total gentleman.
All that.
He tried to kiss me.
I'm the best guy in the world, right?
Right.
Okay. So I'm like, it makes me feel pretty good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But the truth was, I went out. We were supposed to go out like 10 of us, but none of my friends could make it. So it was just me and her at the end of it, and I got so drunk that I fell asleep on the ride home. She had to drive my truck to her mom's house. And then I woke up, and we played strip, rock, scissors, papers while she rode me in her mom's driveway. It was so fun.
I love that.
Yeah. But I let her play that story, you know, for the family and everything. But
Yes.
I'll still take it aside and say, hey, why don't you tell them the truth every once in a while, but she won't.
Thank you for that. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Matt on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Matt.
How you doing, man?
Do you care, pal?
Of course.
I'm doing great.
Here's a story for you. High school senior water polo game. We win. We party at my friend's house. We pick up these girls. We're over there drinking, having a great time. I take this girl home. I slam her in the back of my truck for at least an hour and a half. And you know what she tells her mom?
What?
I met this great boy, Mom. Took me to movies. Did everything. Didn't even try to kiss me, Mom. He's such a gentleman. She got slammed in the truck. The buddies were watching. It was great.
I love it.
All right, Tom.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Dave on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, how you doing?
Okay, Dave.
Good. Well, her version begins with, this is my boyfriend. And she tells all of her friends when I finally met them how, our eyes met across the bar, and, when he was tending bar when I was at the club with my friends, and he bought me all these drinks all night, and he had a waitress bring me, desserts. I had to go to the bathroom really bad, and he didn't want me to have to wait in line, so he got me into the employee bathroom. It was right around the side of the bar that he was at, and, met her parents. Oh, this is my boyfriend, yada, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
True story?
Yeah.
The only thing my eyes met were her cans. Right? It doesn't cost me a penny when I'm tending bar to give her free drinks.
Uh-huh.
I had the waitress bring her a dessert from our dessert bar, and the only reason she got the key to the bathroom was because I was going to throw her a bang in there. Ends up, the manager comes by to get a drop because we were real busy that night.
Mm-hmm.
So this continues. This is right before spring break. Now,
Yeah.
I got to share with you, I was a college athlete,
Right.
getting ready to go into spring practice.
Uh-huh.
So I get back from spring break. I got messages on my answer machine from her thinking, who the hell's this broad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get back, find out she's got a little bit of coin. Figure, what the heck? Let's see what's going on. I'm hooking up with her at random nights, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, total booty call. We bump into a bunch of her friends. I figured, she's a good-looking girl, just about as dumb as a stump.
Yeah.
Figure I'll give her a little bit of credit, go out and have lunch with her. We run into one of her friends, and she goes, well, this is my boyfriend. I'm like, huh? That's all I could do. I was flabbergasted.
Wow.
And, I end up meeting her parents. My boyfriend. I'm thinking, boyfriend. I went to the freaking dictionary to look up the word boyfriend. Nowhere under any of the definitions that say some guy that gave me free drinks and bangs me.
I love that, Dave. Thank you.
Cheers.
1-800-5800-TOM. It's Stephanie from America's most stressful city, Tacoma, Washington, on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Are you feeling stressed, Stephanie?
I am. I'm very
Tacoma. You should be all stressed out.
I know. I've just moved to Tacoma, and it is a very stressful city.
Really?
Yeah, I have a comment about the two different stories for men and women. That lady, Sandy, she is kidding herself because there is two different stories, and I have a different story that I tell people.
What do you tell people?
Well, I tell people that we met at the restaurant we worked at together, and we had this really stressful night working. And
because you're in Tacoma.
Yeah, and we got together and had ice cream and fed each other ice cream, and, it was just so romantic and everything, when really the first time we met is I invited him over to a party that I had at my house while my parents were away.
Yes.
And thought he'd be a really good lay, so we got really drunk all night long and had sex all night long, and that's the first time we met. So she's kidding herself. There is two different stories because girls don't want to look like sluts, and we've been together ever since for 4 years. So
yes.
That's that.
So that was your last day as a slut.
Yeah, it was my last day as a slut. I still like to pretend that I'm a slut with him, but, you know.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Keep it interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah.
You want to pretend you're a slut? Then go out and bang another guy.
No, I'm happy with him, and in fact, I do have an orgasm every single time, and women who aren't with somebody who can satisfy them like that are looking for something else.
Leave. Yeah, leave.
Yeah. Leave. I know. I totally agree. I'm very happy with him, and he satisfies me every single time.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Stephanie, thank you.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-866.
Why do you spend your whole entire being belittling other people around you just to make yourself feel good?
Because it's so entertaining, and so many millions of people like hearing me do it.
Sick, sick world, man.
I don't care. I'm just here to cash in on it, babe.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. It's Michelle on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Michelle.
How are you?
Do you care, dear?
I absolutely do. I've never called in before, so I do care.
I'm doing great.
Fabulous. Hey, I was just calling about Sandy. Sandy is crazy. Women stroke their men's ego all the time. I stroke my boyfriend's ego every single day, and I do it via sex, but I do have amazing sex. But I stroke his ego, so he goes to work every day. He's successful. He feels like...
But wait a minute. You're either stroking his ego or you're telling him the truth. Which is it?
I stroke his ego by providing him with great sex, lots of attention, home-cooked meals, and he goes every day and feels like he is...
And you do it for money?
I do it because I want him to be more successful than what he is, and he wants... And I love being with him. We've been together 2 years, and I have...
But you think that by servicing him, he'll be more successful in business?
He certainly is, yeah, because I think he feels pretty happy. He goes to work every day, and he's pretty satisfied. His mind's not wandering off.
But let me ask you this question. Are you as satisfied as he thinks you are?
Oh, absolutely. I get the best sex ever.
You are?
Absolutely.
So you're not just stroking his ego, you're telling him the truth.
I'm telling him the truth, but I think it's...
I mean, the woman who called in before about stroking a man's ego, she was implying that she's not getting satisfied, but she insists on complimenting the man, and she's doing it because he has a low self-esteem of some kind.
She was admitting that she's stroking his ego. I stroke my boyfriend's ego in the respect of good sex, good fun, having a great time, and he goes to work every day and feels like he is the guy. And that, in turn, builds his ego up. I think. Makes him happy.
Well, all right. Well, thank you for that. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Craig on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Craig.
How's it going?
Pretty damn good.
All right. Well, basically my story is about, I've been with my girl for about a year now, and the first night I get invited over to meet her parents, I hear a completely new story about how we met. I hear that how I'm such a great guy, and I brought her flowers to school, to my university I go to, and how I come over and sit by her, I talk her up, and just how, in general, what a sweet guy I am. Mm-hmm. And little did she know, the first day of class when she comes into class, I'm like, what a piece of ass is that?
That's what it always is for the guy. There's no romance involved here.
Never.
That's in movies. That's in George Clooney movies. That doesn't happen in the real world.
That is the truth. And yeah, just what a piece of ass. And if I could just work my way over to that class just so I can bang that girl. And the first night we went out, I ended up banging her. So
I just want to hit that hard.
Exactly. But it's just a total curveball to me when I go there and I hear a totally story, and she kind of gives me this look I'm supposed to play along with. Oh, yeah, I went and I brought her flowers. Yeah, it was great. Your daughter's such a sweet girl.
Yeah.
No, I banged her the first time. All right, Tom, well, that's my story. You can blow me up for me.
Of course I can. And Terry
Terry gets the last word this hour on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Terry.
I'm 19, and all these women are so afraid to tell you what they're really thinking. You know, when you talk about why, you know, your man is so romantic, it's really just to be better than the next girl. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously you tell your parents the cleaned up version because they're your parents.
Yeah, but